Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome. Feels so good to be back to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, as always, OG the Beast, and with me is that guy over there to the right, Chilltown 32. Unc, what's popping? How you running?
Back in effect, man. We back in effect. We was out for a couple of days, but we back in effect. Let's get back to it.
Couple of days, more like a couple of weeks. We was out for a
Yeah.
little bit of time, man. Hey,
Yeah.
we have lives too. We love y'all, but we love our families too. We got a lot going on, in real life. But hey,
hmm
that ain't gonna stop us from bringing y'all this fire right here, man. We got to talk about sports. We got to let them know how it's known. Anybody on YouTube, welcome back. We back. Glad to have y'all back. KB, shout out to KB for the gifted sub. Appreciate you, man. As always, somebody else dropped us Mr. 81 dropped us a gifted sub as well while we was out. I appreciate you. All the loyals on YouTube, y'all know who y'all are. If you new to the channel, please drop a sub, hit that like button, and enjoy the content. All the new cats in here, we appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like who we got in here? We got Ball Rat in here. We got Reese in here. Tone in here. KB in here. Shout out to all of these guys, man. All of the gifted subs. We appreciate all the support. Y'all stuck around for the longest, man, waiting around for us, and we finally here to bring y'all this die line, man. It's high fire. You already know, but a lot to talk about. We got a mixture of things. We're going to talk some Tom Brady, some Buccaneers. We're going to talk some Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to my Eagles, man. Eagle Nation, stand up. We in the playoffs. We are in the playoffs. Eagles was supposed to be Gabricio. I look up. We in the playoffs. Shout out to Eagles Nation, man. We gonna discuss. We gonna create some lists for y'all today too as well. A lot of y'all been asking me on social media about the lists. Appreciate the bits, man. Peaky with the 3 bits. I appreciate that, man. We appreciate that. Crispy with the gifted sub as well. I appreciate that. Y'all coming back with a bang. Try to
Did,
contribute.
did you not have your Eagles trash this season? Did I
Look,
not have? Did you not have your Eagles trash this season?
in all
I,
fairness, Unc, when you look at it, it didn't look like we was in a position. First of all, I didn't think the Giants was going to be this ass. I thought they was going
I
to take a
didn't
step
either.
forward.
I didn't either.
Saquon coming back, I thought they would be better. Even though they didn't do much
hmm
to improve that offensive line, Saquon coming back, Daniel Jones in another
hmm
year, that defense that played hellacious last year, I thought it would continue. Everything took a drastic step back. Didn't
Yep.
expect Ryan Fitzpatrick to go down. I thought him and Terry McLaurin would have a phenomenal season together. The slinger, the pass catcher, that didn't happen. So plus that defense took a step back. Chase Young tears his ACL. Blessings to him. But man, it's been a crazy year. A lot of unpredictable shit has been going on, and one of which being my Eagles is a lock for the playoffs. Granted, we got to
Yeah.
play the Buccaneers in the first round. Not too happy about that, but that's neither here nor there. We here. Speaking of the Buccaneers, a lot went on with them this weekend, as we all know, right? First of all, they down to the Jets. They find themselves somehow down to the New York Jets. I don't know how that happened. I looked at the score and it was like 10-24. Then I'm like, damn, are the Bucs about to lose to the Jets? I'm checking to see who need the Jets to potentially beat the Bucs to get into the playoffs, and I'm like, hold on. This is Tom Brady. When I looked at the score, it was 10-24. The Jets did not score another point the entire fourth quarter. Final score was 24-28. Just Jets doing
hmm
Jets type shit. Typical Jets doing Jets type shit. Tom Brady is the GOAT. It's not a question about it. But what's understood don't have to be explained when it comes to this game. The real topic at hand is Tom Brady clinched his division for the 18th time in his career. To me, that's phenomenal. I don't think it happened last week, but I don't think people spoke on that enough. To clinch your division 18 years out of the 20-something years you played. What is this, Tom Brady, 21st, 22nd season? Like, to me, that's sheer dominance over the NFL. You can say what you want about the AFC East or lack thereof when it comes to the talent in that division. But what Tom Brady has put on display, he comes to one of the tougher divisions in the league. Granted, it had some mishaps this year. He wasn't able to close the deal last year. But 18 years of domination in your division is just superb to me. Like, what?
Here's the thing that we need to understand. because you just got finished talking about him playing against the Jets because as bad as they are. Beast, just so you know, Tom Brady's got his second most wins against the Jets of all the teams in the NFL. At the top is Buffalo.
Yeah.
Second is the Jets,
Yeah.
30 wins. There's the flip side to that. He's got his second most losses against the Jets.
I would have guessed the Dolphins if I had to put some money on it.
Actually, Dolphins is number one. They're at the top of the list.
Okay, so it is the Dolphins. Okay.
He has not lost to anybody more
than the Dolphins.
Than Miami.
Yeah.
But right after that is the Jets. So anytime he goes up against the Jets, it's not a lock for them to win. That's first of all. Number two, why are we discounting, and this is as sports fans, why do we discount how important it is to win a division? When you're the class of the division, that means that in order to get to the playoffs, you got to come see us.
You got to come through me.
You got to come see us. And every year, so we're talking about almost 2 decades. And by the way, Tom Brady is new to the NFC South. He hasn't played in the NFC South in 15 years. No, he just got there last season. So he proved that it's not a fluke. I mean, just because I had a really good team last year, that doesn't mean, and even this year as well, it doesn't mean that we're going to win a division. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. So for him to continuously do what he's doing in that division, and the NFC South ain't no joke. Let's be clear about that. The NFC South is not a joke.
It's
the
not.
NFC South,
especially last year.
Right. The NFC South is not a joke. So we're gonna dead that logic right there. Now, I will tell you this, Beast, because you had asked me the question, can Tampa repeat this year?
Mm-hmm.
I think your man, Aaron Rodgers, this is his best opportunity to do it.
That's what I was thinking.
This is his best. This team that he on right now, rewind the clock back to 2010, January 2011, when they beat Pittsburgh in the bowl game. If you look at that unit that he was on, and you look at the unit he on now, is Devontae Adams better than Greg Jennings?
Yes.
Is he better than Donald Driver?
Yes.
Absolutely, I believe so. No question about it. Is he better than Jordy Nelson?
Yes.
Absolutely. I will not fight that. Now, when I think about that, you look at Aaron Jones. Is Aaron Jones better than Brandon Jackson?
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a question.
Right.
When I think about that defense, when I think about A.J. Hawk that they had, when I think about
they was nice.
A.J. Hawk and Woodson and Clay Matthews, that defense is serious. When I think about the defense that they got this year, right? I think about the defense that they got this year and how they shut the door on guys, especially in their red zone. I think that I'm not listening to no more excuses from Aaron Rodgers. This is the year. If they don't do it this year, they're not doing it. This is his best
piggyback off
opportunity.
of that, to be honest with you, not only because of the squad that he has, but because of what's going on around the league, especially with the contenders. Kansas City has been shaky for the AFC, even though they've been stringing together so many wins consecutively because they got to find different ways to win. They haven't been winning in their traditional fashion, which might play into the hands of certain teams that have high-powered offenses, right? Mm-hmm. Then you look at Tampa Bay, who's injury-riddled all the way across the board. Defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball. So it's more so looking like Tom Brady in New England again versus the real reason why he came to Tampa Bay, which is, the fact that they loaded with talent. I mean, to be honest with you, Gronk has been out all year, and he's the only constant right now. Even Mike Evans played, but he's banged up. So like you say, this is if Aaron Rodgers ever had a shot to do it, this is the shot to do it right now. So
when I think about not just Mike Evans, when I think about that offense as a whole, I get roasted for this, Beast, because I actually think Ronald Jones is better than Leonard Fournette.
No, sir.
I get roasted for that.
Y'all know I love my LSU running bikes.
I get roasted for that. I think Ronald Jones is a better runner than him. I do. I think he a better all-around back than Ronald Jones. He do more stuff in terms of getting in the flat, getting check downs, stuff like that. But I think Ronald Jones is a better overall runner than him. But the problem is he can't stay healthy neither.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy neither. So
he
that's
puts
the
ball
downside
on the
to
ground too. So that's
one
of the reasons why he got his job took.
On top of that, he can't hold on to the ball. As the primary ball carrier, take care of the football.
Yeah.
When you're putting the ball on the ground, we can't have you on the field.
Yeah.
That simple. So when you talk about this Green Bay team, the door is open for you guys to win it. There are no excuses after this season.
Yeah,
None.
Great point. that girl Marlene, if that's how you pronounce it, she said David Bakhtiari will be back too. So while the Packers is getting healthy, other teams is banged up, which could definitely play into the hands of Aaron Rodgers. Especially you don't know the future with him in Green Bay. Honestly, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going nowhere. That's just my opinion. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere. So, that's neither here nor there. Right now is the time for A-Rod. But speaking of right now being the time, I heard you name off some names that when you named them, I'm like, man, I ain't heard them names in a long time. You said Donald Driver. You said Greg Jennings. You named off a couple of Jordy Nelson. You used Tay Adams in comparison to that. What about Antonio Brown? Antonio Brown has been the most troubling wide receiver over the past 2 to 3 years, I say. Started off with the whole Facebook live shit in the locker room while your head coach is trying to talk to you. You're not paying no attention to the message he's trying to deliver. Instead, you rather entertain the social media. If you notice, every problem that's dealing with AB outside of the sexual assault charges, which, that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to put nothing against nobody, but I don't like to pin that on anybody without any disputable evidence. So, without that being said, right, everything that's been surrounding Antonio Brown over the past 2 to 3 years has something to do with social media. All of it. He does what he does this past weekend, for those that don't know. I'm sure everybody in here knows what the hell Antonio Brown did. Took his shirt off, took his jersey off, took his pads off, threw everything in the crowd, basically chucked up the deuces in the end zone and walked out the damn arena. Caught a Uber to the way to the crib or wherever the hell he went. Man, seen him at the Nets game the next day. Like, bro, what's up? I see this man in the front row. I'm like, what's up with you? I'm like, boy, you a clown. And I went to bat for AB. Now you putting my name on the line because you want to be a goofy. I know Tom Brady looking like a goofy right now. Like, because he went to bat harder than anybody. When all else failed against AB, Tom Brady was there for you. Put you in his crib. Like, all of the above. Like, the coach didn't even want you, my guy. But because Tom Brady vouched for you, that's a strong enough notion to get you on this squad. You was acting good. Look, I'm convinced this man got CTE. And when bro, this man has CTE, I'm convinced. I guarantee you. We gonna relive this. Hopefully, who knows? AB may outlive me, but I got a feeling someday we gonna find out, and it's gonna come to the surface. Antonio Brown suffers from one of the worst cases of CTE. The way he's acting is unacceptable.
Well, let's start with the good. All right, so we talking about a dude. He got 10 years in the game. All right, he got 10 years in the game, 7,000-yard seasons. That's the good.
Oh, nobody's denying his skill. Never did.
Four All-Pro nods. 4 of them. I mean, that's half. That's almost half the time I've been in the game. I've been that dude. All right, I can't fight that. Then there's the bad. He's a malcontent. He's problematic. Then there's the ugly, what you just saw. Now, remember now, Beast, Chris, understand this. If you see how Bruce Arian is in that interview, he's trying to be professional, but that's on the surface. In his mind, he was like, I told y'all we shouldn't have had this dude on here. I didn't even want this dude in the first place.
That's probably what he told him in the locker room.
But Tom Brady is here. Tom Brady vouched for him. So, I don't want him here. But Brady vouched for him, so come on. Mm-hmm. And he already knew that he was skating on thin ice with the vaccination card, not to mention with the other nonsense in New England, first-class organization. In Pittsburgh, first-class organization, right? With the Raiders, who were trying to do something. All of these units, nothing but problems. So why am I going to think that it's going to be any different here? Not to mention, which is the most important part, why is it that we get so wrapped up in labeling people? What's happened to just being a dumbass? What? Did stupid just go away? Somebody explain that one to me.
So you saying there's no explanation for what Antonio Brown has been exhibiting over the course of the past 3 seasons. It's just dumbass.
I take mental illness very seriously
Yeah.
because it runs in my family. So I take it very seriously. So when I see people label other people with that, I examine it to understand what exactly it is. All I'm hearing, this is a cry for help. A cry for help for what? Who is doing him wrong? New England, they came out and got him and put him in a great situation. The Raiders put him in a great situation.
Facts.
This dude is knocking on Derek Carr's door. Yo, let's go work out. And Derek Carr's like, word, look what I got. Right? Pittsburgh, no question about it. He was the guy there. He ruined that. So with that being said, I can't just label this guy as he's got mental problems. How about he just a dumbass?
That's what leads me to believe, especially with all the cases that's been surfacing, and you see the acts that lead up to that. You know how Mantateo or not Mantateo, how middle linebacker San Diego Hall of Famer took his life. Junior Seau.
Yes, sir.
The CTE, you know, the whole situation, the Chris Benoit situation for the wrestling, how he acted out in rage, and they found out he had a terrible case of CTO, whatever the case may be. You know how tight end for the Patriots. I don't know.
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez took his own life, and everything that he did during the course of his career, because this shit been going on for a while with him.
Correct.
Found out he had one of the worst cases of CTE. So it's like it's a chain of events, a sequence of events, and this is a newfound form of AB. I know people been rumbling in the locker room in Pittsburgh about how privileged AB is and his mentality when it comes to certain shit. But he ain't never acted out like this. You know, even while he was dominating the league, he wasn't acting out like this. This shit didn't start happening until all of a sudden, boom. That's why people is quote unquote blaming it on the Burfict hit. I'm not buying that. I think it's I think it's a collective effort of hits.
Collection of stuff. A collection of hits. I can deal with that.
I seriously think I would not be surprised if Antonio Brown has a serious case of CTE because everything is falling in line for what's been going on with this dude. The inconsistencies with his behavior. 1 minute he's good, 1 minute he's bad. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like I can't put my name on it. The only thing to point to is you might say, yeah, he might be just a dumbass. Now this motherfucker might just be dumb. But I think it's more than that, man. Because
all right, so if that's true, so
he doing shit we never seen.
All right, so let's not just say he a dumbass. What I can't do is I can't completely put it on this right here neither. I can't do that. A lot of this looks like just dumb behavior. When I think about Junior Seau, for example, when Junior Seau was acting out, quote unquote, it was nothing like this. Don't forget, Junior played 20 years.
Yeah.
Junior played 20 years in the NFL. That's number one, right? And Junior took a number of different hits. It wasn't like Junior Seau just one day he just started popping off. No. And this stuff that AB is doing, it's conscious stuff. So, for example, him getting an Uber after the game, and him at the Nets game,
the next day,
with shades on, right?
My man didn't even go home.
He didn't even go home. He had a suitcase with him. I'm just having a difficult time with just labeling these people, him in particular, labeling him as having a mental issue when in reality it very well can be. Yo, this dude just ain't that smart, man.
I don't know, man. AB, I hope the man gets some help. I hope he figures out whatever it is. But I tell you like this here, he ain't playing in the NFL no more. And on top of that, Reese made a great deed. This might cost Antonio Brown his Hall of Fame induction. No joke. As great a player as he is, if he does get inducted, it'd probably be after he die or 40 years later, like on some Don Hudson type shit. It's not gonna happen for a long time. He gonna wait as long as Art Monk took to get inducted. Like it's
longer than that.
It's gonna be longer than that. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe longer than that.
As great as he is, if they did what they did to T.O., you bet your bottom dollar they'd do it to your black ass too, AB.
T.O. had to wait. That if there was ever a first ballot Hall of Famer,
it's T.O.
And he had to wait.
I think T.O. is the second greatest wide receiver of all time.
I got him third.
You see,
I got T.O. third behind Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. That's why I got him.
I'm not mad at that. We could debate that on another day, but
Yep.
I got T.O. as the second greatest wide receiver of all time, and he had to wait. He got
Right.
snubbed because of behavioral issues, and his
Yep.
behavioral issues wasn't nothing like what Antonio Brown has been exhibiting. But
Nothing.
I hope he gets the help that he needs and deserves. Shout out to Antonio Brown, man. Do better, my guy. Do better. On to a more positive note, Kansas City were on a 8-game winning streak. That is until Sunday, when the new look young Bucks in Cincinnati came to town. Cincinnati is no joke, man. They snapped their 8-game winning streak. So I ask you this, with Joe Mixon, with that terrible-ass offensive line, with Joe Burrow and T. Higgins, my boy from Clemson. What, Joe Mixon was from what, Oklahoma? He played with Baker Mayfield. Joe Burrow, LSU. My man T. Higgins from Clemson. My man Jamar Chase from LSU. All these guys are 25 and under. All of them.
Yep.
All of them. Is this the best young offense in the league?
The only other offense that I had it compared to was, and you know that how I feel about the Chargers and Justin Herbert. With you know how I feel about Mike Williams. You know how I feel about Antonio Eckler. So that's the offense that I compare them to. But when I think about
here's before I ask you that, before you go, here's some of the offenses that I think about right here. I wrote them down. We got the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Najee Harris, James Washington. All them boys is young as hell. Yeah. Then you got the Dolphins with Tua and Gaskin and Waddle and Gesicki. All them guys is young.
Yep.
I don't think none of them guys is even 25.
Right.
Like Tua's in his third year. Gesicki's like in his second year. Waddle's in his first year. All them guys is young as hell. Baltimore. Lamar Jackson young. Mark Andrews is like 23 years old. J.K. Dobbins when he gets healthy. Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, all of these guys. My Eagles even. Hurts, Sanders. You got Goddard, who's still young as hell. Devontae Smith.
Yep.
Your 49ers with Trey Lance when they inevitably move on. Sermon and Debo and Brandon Ayuk.
Absolutely.
So it's some steep competition when it comes to these young units. 25.
And with all of that being said, the one guy, with the exception of Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow is the most pro-ready that I've seen of these guys.
So you think Herbert's better?
I do think Herbert is better. And when I watch Justin Herbert, I've said this to you in the past, he looked like Dan Marino, just a better athlete. That's what he looked like to me. And once they figure out the pro game and how to get this offense down, and if they could involve Eckler more, they don't involve him nearly as much as they need to. He should be a 1,000-yard rusher, Beast. No question about that in my mind. He should be. He's at the doorstep of 1,000. The Cincinnati Bengals. We're talking about a team. Joe Mixon got almost 300 carries this year. They milking him, and I think they absolutely milking him. Just like Joe Burrow is doing the same thing with Jamar Chase, which was, to be honest with you, I'm trying to make sense of what Kansas City was doing. Ward is pressing Jamar at the line of scrimmage, one-on-one. And I'm looking at the line of scrimmage, and it's almost like Jamar Chase is screaming at Joe Burrow, "Look at this!
He can't guard me.
Is this dude really pressing me at the line of scrimmage? Come on over here!" And it wasn't close. It wasn't close. He was just, whatever they were running, Joe Burrow just looked over at Chase like, that's where we going.
Chase has like 570-plus, 60-plus yard touchdowns this year.
Right. Like that's which way we going. And I said before the season started, I was already impressed with Joe Burrow last year. Before he tore his knee up, he was on his way to over 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns. And to add Jamar Chase to that, and to add to that defense, to what they're doing, Cincinnati's going to make some noise in that division, barring any health issues, because Cleveland is going the other way.
Yeah, they got Bricio, flat out.
Yeah, Cleveland is going the other way. Pittsburgh, we already know that Ben Roethlisberger, and we're going to get into Ben Roethlisberger later, but they've also gone the other way. So, to me, it's Baltimore and Cincinnati in that division. Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Those are the two, not only young, but great up-and-coming squads. I think Cincinnati is going to be very, very, very scary sooner rather than later. Joe Burrow is a complete animal, and you know how that young squad is on that side of the ball, man. I think from here on out, they just need to focus on offensive line. I will spend every pick I got on offensive linemen. If you got to trade, whatever you got to trade, if I was them, I would trade something, whether it be a player, a pick, conjunction or two. Get a offensive lineman, get a veteran. Get a guy you can build your offensive line around and then completely restructure the damn thing, whether it be through free agency, through the draft, whatever your main focus should be offensive line and defense at this point in their career, because this team could be special and they got a lot of time to do it, but Joe Burrow hasn't gotten paid yet, so you still got a short window to where you can capitalize on that, which is what teams like to do, a la what Seahawks did to Russell Wilson, what Carson Wentz, what the Eagles did with Carson Wentz. All of these guys won on their rookie contracts. And that seems to be the trend that teams is doing now. So capitalize now while you got this window, because when you pay that man,
it's going to get tricky. No question about that. Because when I look at what Cincinnati, Joe Burrow got sacked 4 times, and he was constantly running for his life. But I think that they might have heard you, because Kansas City had this game under control in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt.
The problem that we had was they were getting everything over the top. Cincinnati shut the door on that in the second half. Everything became underneath, and they took care of the football too, which was the most important part. No turnovers on Cincinnati's part, 0. And they held Kansas City to 3 points in the second half. And that's because everything was right in front of them, and everything was underneath. Yep. There was no, in the words of my nephew Chris over here, there was no 9 routes. There was no cheetah just running. Nah, none of that stuff. Yep. We keeping everything in front of them, and on top of that,
deep.
On top of that, they made sure that they kept Patrick Mahomes on the move. Because if Patrick Mahomes get to sit in that pocket, you got no shot.
Facts.
You got no shot if he get to sit in that pocket.
You got to get him uncomfortable.
I thought they did a really good job in the second half of doing that, and they just had a steady diet of Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon. That was the difference in the football game.
That's your offensive player of the year. If it's a lot of candidates for offensive player of the year. I don't know which way it's gonna go. Jamar Chase should win every damn award: MVP, offensive player of the year, and rookie of the year. But he probably just gonna take home the rookie of the year, and we gonna be cool with that, because I think that boy over there in LA probably gonna get offensive player of the year. But let's segue to some basketball, right? Let's talk about these Lakers, the team everybody had winning it all this year. People anticipated the Los Angeles Lakers to be way better than what they planned as of late. And then they go through the 2018 LeBron James saga, right? He needs more help. He needs more pieces. He needs this. He needs that. But prior to the season, everybody was saying, oh, they got Russell Westbrook. They got Anthony Davis. They got LeBron James. He gets to take a back seat. These guys is poised to make another run at it. Now, if LeBron James wins with Russell Westbrook, it should be no argument that he's the greatest of all time. I kept hearing all of this shit, right? Mm-hmm. It went from that to now he needs more help. Well, the Lakers have lost 8. What did they lose? Where the Lakers at right now?
They lost 6 of their last 8, and they're in 8th place right now in the Western Conference. Now,
Lakers is the 8th seed, 19-19, right. Lost 6 of their last 9, including a 5-game winning streak. LeBron James over that span, has been nothing short of goatish. I thought LeBron James was a top 5 player. He may still be the best player in the world. Like, as crazy it is, yeah. I've never seen somebody in their 19th season play the way this man is playing, albeit him going no college out of high school. LeBron James over this 9-game span, losing 6 of these 9 games. This man is averaging 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists on 55% field goal and 40% from 3 during this span. Almost nearly 80% from the free throw line in this span, 78%. That is massive for LeBron, who's a career 74, 73% free throw shooter. For him to shoot, his shooting splits is amazing. He's playing amazing. But the problem is he has no help. Russell Westbrook through that span is 19 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Get this. 58% from the free throw line. 58% is Russell Westbrook. 20% from three. 20% is Russell Westbrook. 46% from the field, which is good.
Here's the thing that needs to be understood. Number one, he's leading the league in scoring since he's been back in the lineup. I want to start the conversation right there. Since he's been back in the lineup, he's leading the league in scoring. Now, the logic of them being the 8th seed, just so you know, they're only a game out the 5th spot. One game out of the 5th spot.
That's how the West is.
Yeah, they only one game out of the 5th spot. Now, we got to use some context here. So we got to take under consideration that we're talking about a Laker team that only 3 guys, THT, AD, James.
Double figures?
Those are the only 3. No, those are only 3 guys that's on the crew now. I was on the crew last year.
Oh.
Everybody else is new. Everybody else is new. Now, what is expected is we're going to throw this group together. We got James, so it's going to work out. Well, wait a minute. Hang on. We can't just assume that. And James doesn't help because when he goes 35, 11, and 3 or 11 and 7, we automatically think, well, James is going to save us. So James isn't helping the situation at all because you consider
can't control
how good
greatness, man.
Right, you can't help how good he still is. So he's not helping the situation. So now the narrative becomes, well, he needs help. Well, no, that's not it at all. Because there's plenty of talent on this unit. The problem that we're having is we got to get together. We've had guys in and out of the lineup. Not only have we had guys in and out of the lineup, we've got a rotation issue. Not only do we have a rotation issue, we got a transition defense issue. Stuck in defense. In transition defense. And you know why you suck in transition defense? You suck in transition defense because in the meat and potatoes of your offense, which is at the top, you're turning the ball over, and nobody's getting back on defense.
Yep.
That's why they're scoring as quick as they're scoring. So now you have that problem. You don't gang rebound. We still haven't decided who exactly is our primary ball handler. Is it James? Is it Russ? Who are we running the offense through? Well, it looks like James said, I'll handle this until AD gets back. And AD's coming back in a couple of weeks. How are we going to integrate him back into the offense? There's a slew of problems on this Laker team that I think that they're going to make the playoffs. And I've said this to you before. I said this to you before, Chris, and I'm standing on it. I think James is done winning championships. I think that's over.
Yeah, you did say that.
I think that's over.
You did mention that.
I do think that they're making the playoffs, and I think that they're going to make some noise. Absolutely. But I think James is done winning championships. The goal now, 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, over 10,000 assists. And then there's the Mount Rushmore. There's Mount Rushmore, and then there's James. That's what we're going to have.
You're trying to shatter every regular season record.
That's what we're going to have.
All of them.
That's what we're going to have.
I feel it. I don't think he going to win no more championships. I mean, it's tough to say. Depending on what people do, I don't want to count LeBron out, but it's looking less than likely, I'll tell you that. But I did tell you this. This damn team wasn't going to work. As soon as they put this shit together and I seen Westbrook and all these non-shooters, I said, this shit ain't going to work. I don't know why y'all hype. This shit is not finna work. But I'll tell you what the hell is working. Zach LaVine. Yeah. Working. DeMar DeRozan. Working. Give it to DeMar. DeMarvelous. My Chicago Bulls got 10 losses on the year. We are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. DeMar DeRozan is averaging 27, 5, and 5, and we are now on an 8-game winning streak. Talk about it. Guy's been in and out of the lineup due to COVID all year long. It don't matter. Caruso's still out. He came by. Kobe White stepped up. He's been balling his ass off. Listen, everybody said that this DeMar DeRozan signing was the worst decision the Bulls could have possibly made because they didn't know how it was going to work. I'm not only on record stating that we needed to go get DeMar DeRozan, but I also explained it to a lot of my friends. One in specifically being KB, Cal Berry, if you in here watching. Had a legit conversation. I said, look, we need to go get DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if it's going to work. Neither do I care. He say, look, man, Bulls still going to be trash. It's not going to be enough. I said, you crazy as hell. DeMar DeRozan could do everything on the court. If we get a DeMar DeRozan with the core that we got right now, with Vooch and with Levine, it's going to be enough to at least make some noise, make Chicago relevant again. He didn't believe it. Now, he's a believer. DeMar DeRozan is a dog, right? Back-to-back game winners. Not only game winners, but three-pointers. One off one leg on some Kobe shit, and the other one in the corner on some LeBron James on Jimmy Butler shit. Catch, pump fake, draped all over him was Bradley Beal. It didn't matter. Green. For the game. Only back-to-back in NBA history. First player in NBA history to hit back-to-back game winners. Never happened before. DeMar DeRozan has had way too many MVP moments to not be your MVP. And I swear to God, if the league snubs my man out of this MVP trophy he deserves, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Because honestly, I want everybody out there to consider who's a better candidate right now than DeMar DeRozan for MVP.
Well, here's the problem that we have, Chris. The problem that we have is that this wouldn't even be a conversation if DeMar didn't have another dude running with him doing something similar to what he's doing. That's the problem that we have. That's the only problem that we have. And if he didn't have somebody on the unit, that's why Kevin Durant is at the top of the list. That's why Giannis is at the top of the list. Because ain't nobody on the crew doing what they doing. Now, I got a guy in DeMar DeRozan who's 27 a game. Now, if you rewind the clock, let's go back to 2018, 2019, going into the summer. DeMar DeRozan is 23 a game. That team just lost to Cleveland, number one seed in the Eastern Conference. There's no reason to think, with James now gone, the boogeyman's gone now. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to think that Toronto ain't gonna be right back in the championship. If not, win the whole thing. There's no reason not to think that. However,
they deported him.
Now he gets traded. Not only does he get traded, they win the NBA championship in Toronto. The emotional damage that did to my man. And he's on a bad San Antonio team. Everybody got DeMar washed. DeMar is finished. He's over. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, no, he is not.
Right. He was giving you 21 and 6.
I'm like, wait a minute. What are y'all talking about? No, it's not over. Can you give my man a second to get it together? Right? I had to go watch my best friend, who I was just running with, go win the NBA championship with Kawhi Leonard. What? Man, that's my championship. That's my crew. Mm-hmm. Right? So now here we are, fast forward, 4 years later, right? And this Bulls team, they got everything. Here's the problem that we have. And you're going to hate me for this. I think they better than Brooklyn. And if of all the teams in the Eastern Conference that I look at with Brooklyn, y'all don't want nothing to do with Chicago. Nothing. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the cheap seats. All you Brooklyn Nets fans, you don't want nothing to do with the Bulls. Nothing. They will show you guys the door. No problem. The problem that I'm having with the Bulls, though, I don't think they're better than Milwaukee. And the reason why I don't think that is because they don't have that one thing that Giannis brings, which is everything. See, with KD, we could supplement that scoring because we got a number of different guys who do that. And we also know who James Harden is. So we know that at any point, he could disappear. Giannis just does so much.
I'm going to be honest with you. Milwaukee is a legitimate threat, but I think an even more threat to us is a healthy Miami team. I am terrified of Miami. Mm-hmm. Terrified of Miami. Philly gives us trouble too, but I think we could beat Philly in 7 games. Yeah. With Miami, I am terrified of Miami. So I hope somebody knock them out before we can get a chance to play them in the playoffs. Because if that happens, I'm all in. I'm not afraid of Milwaukee. I'm not afraid of Brooklyn.
That's where I was going with it, because Milwaukee's gonna deal with Miami for you guys. You're gonna deal with Brooklyn for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And that's how you're gonna end up in the Eastern Conference Championship.
Facts.
Right there.
And we gonna bust up Giannis Nim.
That's how that's gonna work.
And then we're gonna go see Curry Nim. And we gonna get them boys that work. And then we gonna be hoisting that trophy. And DeMar DeRozan gonna be the league MVP, finals MVP, all that. Yeah. Oh God.
Whoa. Are we? Is there gonna be another parade at Grant Park? Is that what I'm understanding?
I'm about to right now. I've been talking about it for about a week now. I'm about to go put like $150 on the Bulls to win it all. And I'm finna and the payout on that is pretty good. So I'm thinking about putting that $100. The payout on that is like close to like 18, 19 grand, something like that. Crazy. I'm about to put $150 on my Chicago Bulls to win it all. Book it. Real talk. Real talk. Because if we do it, hey baby.
I might have to jump on a bird and come to Grand Park for the
Yeah,
parade.
because we gonna be down there. Oh yeah. You could believe that like you believe in Jesus.
I might have to do that.
All right. Bulls been playing great. So let's shake things up a little bit. Let's create a lineup. Let's create a squad, right? Everybody wants to talk about this player is underrated, this player is overrated. So we're going to do one this show, and we're going to do the other one next Monday, right? Today, we're going to create a lineup featuring the most underrated players in NFL history. This is Tuesday, so y'all know this NFL day. So let's hear a lineup featuring the most underrated players in NFL history. You want me to go first, or you got it?
Go first, huh?
You want me to go first? Okay.
You go first. I want to hear what you got.
At quarterback, I got Donovan McNabb, right? We know the sole reason I'm an Eagles fan is because of this cat. He's from Chicago. Donovan McNabb went to Morgan Park. He was a dog, followed his whole career since I was a kid. He was the talk of the town, right? So Donovan McNabb has to be, and he don't get talked about enough, man. Donovan, even though he never threw for 4,000 yards, Donovan needs to be needs to be talked about more. At running back, I got Priest Holmes, right? A lot of y'all probably don't even know who the hell Priest Holmes is unless you live in the Kansas City area or you familiar with the early 2000s, because in the mid to early 2000s, Priest Holmes was a dog. Won the championship with the Ravens, came back and rushed for like 13 to 1,500 yards for 4 consecutive seasons. Priest Holmes was an animal behind that offensive line. At wide receiver 1, I got Hines Ward, right? Hines Ward, to me, does not get the credit that he deserves. Hines Ward was the cornerstone of that, not even offense, of the Pittsburgh Steelers' whole squad. He was the guy that represented that team. When you looked at that team, you thought of gritty, you thought of tough. That's what you – smash mouth, which is what Hines Ward – they had to create a rule for this man. Crack block. You can't crack block simply because of him. Tough, gritty – laid it all on the field. Hines Ward in Hines Field. Dog. At the wide receiver 2, I got Derek Mason. Derek Mason only played 15. I don't want to say only because that's a nice career. 15 years in the league. 8 of those 15 years, he had over 1,000 yards and at least 5 touchdowns. But Derek Mason never gets talked about. Had a nice little career with Baltimore. Derek Mason never gets talked about. He was a dog. If you don't know who Derek Mason is, you too, my mans. At tight end, I got Heath Miller. Heath Miller, speaking of Pittsburgh, I got 2 Pittsburgh guys in this lineup by accident, right? Mm-hmm. Heath Miller was a guy that I think didn't get as much praise as he should have. Came up in the era with the Tony Gonzalez's and all those guys that was flying high. Heath Miller kind of went under the radar, and I think he was a big, huge, integral piece to what that Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty was putting together around that time. Defense, very important. Very, 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 very important, right? Even though I didn't get to physically watch it because I wasn't alive. I did a lot of homework on it, and I'm from this area, so I can talk on it, right? And that's the 86 Bears defense. The 85 Bears get all the love, but the 86 defense, a lot of people don't know, was better, actually better than the 85 unit, simply because the 86 unit gave up less points. The 86 unit averaged 10.3 points per game to their opponents. 9 out of the 16 games, they held their opponents to under 10 points. This defense was fierce. I think the record for the most points, for the least points allowed to your opponent belongs to the Baltimore Ravens in 2000. They was like 0.3 of a point higher than the Baltimore Ravens. That's how close they were. This 86 unit, just because the offense was bad, McMahon wasn't there no more, Buddy Ryan was the coach, you know, it doesn't get talked about enough, and I think y'all need to go do your research on that 86 unit over that 85 unit because it may have just been better than the unit that won the Super Bowl. What you got on?
I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna stay with your Philadelphia Eagles, and me being a 49er fan and me being an NFC guy. We had to deal with this dude. I'm gonna start with Randall Cunningham. Randall the Candle.
Yeah.
He was my guy. Randall. Whenever it's two guys, Walter Payton and Randall Cunningham. When they was on TV, I was in front of the TV. No question about it. When them dudes was playing, Randall Cunningham, 1988 league MVP. So he was absolutely phenomenal. No question about it. At the running back, John Alexander. You want to talk about a ball carrier? You want to talk about a rock? You want to talk about a rock toter? Give me the football. I will run the football 25, 30 times a game. Absolutely. League MVP in 2005. Rushed for almost 2,000 yards. Ran for almost 1,800 yards that year.
Broke my man Priest Holmes' record.
Absolutely. No question about it. At one wide out, I got Isaac Bruce. We want to talk about the greatest show on turf. Isaac Bruce was absolutely perfect for what they were doing. Definitely. I was a huge Isaac Bruce, and I was a Niner fan, but I dug Isaac Bruce. No question about it.
Me too.
At the other wide out, I got Brandon Marshall. We talking about a dude four straight 1,000-yard seasons. He was hell to deal with at 6'5". No question. Exquisite route runner, great hands, no doubt about that. At the tight end, I'm staying with your Philadelphia Eagles. I was a huge Keith Jackson fan. I dug Keith Jackson. I thought Keith Jackson was awesome. No question about it.
Brett Selleck.
Nah, I thought Keith Jackson was awesome. Big time tight end. Just used to abuse them small cornerbacks. Abuse them. They didn't want nothing to do with him running across the middle. Nothing to do with him whatsoever. And then when I think about the defense, everybody talk about the 85 Bears. Everybody talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody talks about that 2003 Tampa team that shut the door on everybody. Everybody. That 02 Tampa team that shut the door on everybody. I had a conversation in the NFC Championship when they lost to the Rams in 2000, and my man is steady telling me, yo, the Rams just played like trash. No, they didn't. Tampa shut the door on them. No, they did not play bad. They got the door shut on them, and I always felt like that they were right there. And once they got that offense down with Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, and
Adam Archuleta,
Brooks,
I believe, was
and
on there. Derek
Brooks, and
the corner.
Oh man, that defense
on that unit, man.
That
unit probably
incredible.
Has the most Hall of Famers on it. I'm trying to think of the corner that returned that.
That group right there, right? That group right there, forget it. They are the one group defensively that nobody talks about nearly as much as they should.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, no doubt. That's that 02 Bucks unit, man, was so nasty. They was loaded with talent, man, front to back. But we're gonna create one more list, and then we're gonna get into the performers and the underperformers, right? And then get the hell up out of here because we've been killing the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to create the greatest wide receiver of all time using these physical attributes. Not just physical, but attributes in general. Some of them are physical, right? We're going to use physique, route running, yak ability, which is yards at the catch, hands, and red zone skills. I want you to give me a wide receiver to fill each and every one of those categories. Who you got for physique?
I'm going to start the conversation with my wide receiver. He built like Terrell Owens. That's who he looked like. He put together like Terrell Owens. 6'3", he's 220, 225 pounds, all diesel.
Right.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Route running, Chad Ochocinco. Never seen somebody with quicker feet. Never seen somebody as that precise that can get to where he needs to get to without interruption.
No doubt.
Yards at the catch. I mean, I ain't never seen nobody like Jerry Rice who could turn a slant and taking a slant to the house. I mean, we're talking about a 5-yard slant. We going to the house on that. We're talking about a dude that just turns it up, right? Now, when I got a guy who's got hands, I'm talking about beast. I'll put it anywhere he can go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he got Chris Carter hands. Those are the hands that he got. He got Chris Carter hands. And when I put all of that stuff together, and now we in the red zone, and we need to get in the end zone, I got a 6'5", 235-pound guy in Megatron.
Facts.
That's my guy.
I'm not mad at that. For physique, I got Megatron. Megatron was 6'5", 240 some odd pounds, 230 some odd pounds. That man was a man. It's no coincidence that they call this man Megatron. He was a dog. Route running, I went with you. Chad Ochocinco is the greatest route runner of all time, in my opinion, if you ask me. It's a lot of great route runners to come and go. But I think Chad Ochocinco might be the greatest. Quickest feet. He never let the corner get his hands on him. Like, he just knew what to do in every situation. Yak ability, I went new school, Tyreek Hill. I think when Tyreek Hill touches the ball, look out. He's a threat to take it to the house every single time he touches it. He garners so much attention from the defense. So if my guy is built like Megatron, can run routes like Chad Johnson, and has running ability like Tyreek Hill with the ball in his hand, and then his hands is like Chris Carter, I'll never forget Chris Carter had a play in practice. I can never find it on YouTube. I seen it one time, and it's so hard for me to find, where he was running up the sideline. They threw him the ball. Chris Carter literally leaped in the air and snatched the ball out the air. I've never seen somebody catch the ball up until that point like that before. For him to leap and literally he snatched the ball one-handed. He snatched it out the air. He didn't go up there and get it and let the ball hit his hand and then come down with it. He snatched it out the air like he was swatting at a fly, and he had the football in his. I said, this is incredible. If I can find that play, I could never find it. And red zone, give me Randy Moss. I take the freak. I got to go with the freak of nature. Yep. So my guy's built like Megatron, can run routes like Chad Johnson, quick feet with the ball in his hands like Tyreek Hill, with the hands of Chris Carter, and can catch red zone touchdowns like Randy Moss. I don't know, man.
It's gonna be hard to cover that dude. That dude sound like he a lot. He sound like he a lot to deal with right there. A lot.
A lock Hall of Famer. That's what he is. Yeah. Man. All right, let's get into the top 5 performers. I'll let you shoot it first. I went first for the last one. You can go ahead.
All right, B. So I want to start by give a shout out to my boy Kyle Pitts, who I said was going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I want to give a shout out to my boy Kyle Pitts, first tight end since Mike Ditka as 1,000-yard receiving season. So I want to start there. But I'll start at number 5 at my man Deontay Freeman, 26 rushes, 132 yards, toting that rock like it was nothing. I was definitely feeling that. At number 4, Von Miller. 2 sacks. The sack master is back. The sack master is in effect. No doubt about that. Yeah. Another day at the office for number 3, my man Tay Adams. 11 catches, 12 targets, 11 catches, 136 yards. He was absolutely about that life. No doubt about it. At number 2, Joe Burrow. This is the second straight week. Last week, 525 yards. This week, almost 450 yards. Right? No turnovers. In 4 touchdowns. I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every bit of it. And at number 1, in the words of my nephew Chris over here, what's already understood don't have to be explained. So Jamar Chase, 11 catches, 266 yards. So let me stop playing with this dude.
3 of them things. Don't forget that. I got Joe Burrow at 5 simply because I went heavy with the running backs. Actually, I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. Joe Burrow at 5, 446 yards. Back-to-back weeks of over 450-plus yards. The man is a dog. 4 touchdowns. 3 of them went to Jamar Chase. Tay Adams, I got him at 4, 11 for $136 and a touchdown. Every single week in, week out, he's showing you guys why he's the best wide receiver in the league, and it may not be close. Like, this guy's a stud. At 3, I got Najee Harris. He basically carried the Pittsburgh Steelers to a victory single-handedly. $188 and a touchdown. Najee Harris is special, man. There's something about them big Bama backs, them triple Bs. There's something to worry about, man. All of them, them big Bama backs, straight up. At 2, I'm gonna get a backup some love. Rashad Penny. He goes for $170 and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Rashad Penny. He was a rookie a couple years back, banged up, had some injury issues, got his job. I don't want to say taken, but they flustered Chris Carson into that spot. Rashad Penny never really got his fair shake, and now he's got his opportunity with Chris Carson out, the backup out as the third stringer to come in and do his thing, and he did his thing. And number 1, what's understood don't have to be explained. Jamar Chase, the greatest rookie wide receiver of all time. Randy Moss, move out the way. He is like 4 touchdowns away from breaking the record, and I hope Joe Burrow tries his damnness to get it to him within these next 2 weeks. I don't care about the extra game. Jamar Chase needs this record. Man has like 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns right now with 82 catches. Jamar Chase is a dog, and I tried to let y'all know about this. Real talk. Point blank, period.
Yep.
But, yeah, that was a great comeback show. Let's do some questions from the fans.
We can't. How can we?
Underperformers.
Don't forget about the Gabricios.
I forgot about the Gabricios. Go ahead, Unc. Who you got for your Gabricios? I was ready to get on up out of here.
And so we'll start at number 5 with Tua. No touchdown, sacked 4 times. Man, I was giving Tua love last week. Trash. I'll move from Tua to Zeke. 9 rushes, 16 yards. Garbage. Trash. Get him off the field.
Gabricio.
Get him off the field. Bye.
Facts.
How about we move to Josh Allen? 11 for 26, 120 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Garbage.
Gabricio.
Get him out of here. Beat it. How about Ben Roethlisberger? 46 attempts, 123 yards.
Ooh, on his
Trash.
way out the door.
Bye. Get him
On
out
his
of
way
here.
out the door.
Get him out. Get him out of here. And at the top of the list, I go to Baker Mayfield. 16 for 38. 10 straight incompletions.
Yeah.
Get off the field.
I don't
Trash.
have to do honor. I don't like to do honorable mentions, but I'm gonna do honorable mention. Ben Roethlisberger was garbage. He's an honorable mention. Baker Mayfield was hot garbage. Torn labrum, whatever, but he was Bricio. Facts. Damn you ass. You better come back with a bang next year. You get that labrum fixed. I don't know why he complaining about a labrum. It's in his off shoulder. He complaining like he had the Drew Brees labrum. Drew Brees tore his labrum in his throwing arm. Nick Saban passed up on him. Biggest mistake he ever made. Well, I don't want to say that because then he went on Alabama. 7 championships later. Whatever. Anyway, 5. Myles Gaskin. He was garbage then and he's garbage now. 5 carries for 23 yards. Anytime you let Duke Johnson, a man who has never been a lead back in his career, you let Duke Johnson take your spot as a lead back, they should cut this mofo. He's garbage. Facts. At number 4, Chase Claypool. Everybody thought this man was going to take a developmental leap after last season, him showcasing what he showcased. Wrong again, my friend. He's trash. 3 catches for 17 yards. This man has 1 touchdown on the entire season. He's Gabricio. He's going to go undrafted in all leagues next year in fantasy. He's trash. Number 3, Delvin Cook. 6 carries for 13 yards. Gabricio. Number 2, both Dallas Cowboys running backs. 45 yards on the ground in the game in which they needed you. Cowboys did cowboyish things. Zeke Elliott's been garbage. 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 And the Eagles are coming to town. Had Jalen Reagor caught that damn touchdown in the end zone, we would be playing the Cowboys for the division on baby. But because of that, you know what? We're just going to leave it at that. And number one, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Fuck it. The damn unit as a whole. They garbage. They trash. Them boys let New England put up a 50-piece on them boys. 50-piece? Anytime you get a 50 burger put on your head top and you don't score at least 40, you getting talked about on this show. Damn that. Somebody put you 50? 50? Questions from the fans, man. Random man, where y'all at? That's a damn shame. You let somebody put up 50. Yeah, Claypool garbage. Somebody asks, is Ben Roethlisberger a top 10 quarterback of all time? Yes, he is. He's number 10 for me right now.
You can make that argument. Absolutely, you could. No doubt. You can absolutely make that argument.
Chill Town, what do people think? Let me see. I don't know if you caught that. There's been a lot of questions raining in. How about Mike Glennon? Garbage. What you mean? What about Mike Glennon? He was garbage. Chill Town, what did people think when MJ got drafted by the Bulls?
A piece. And it wasn't really much. It wasn't really much fanfare because Chicago was whack. Chicago was super whack. And Jordan was the college player of the year, but he wasn't expected to do much. He was expected to go in there and just be a good player. It wasn't, yo, this guy's going to be incredible. No, it wasn't like that. He was just, he had came out of the Dean Smith system. He was barely he averaged a little under 20 a game. So nobody really expected him to come in and do what he was doing.
Let me see who we got. Who is Defensive Player of the Year?
This year?
TJ Watt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
TJ Watt was my pick before the season. I didn't think he would get it because he missed so many games, and then so many guys have stepped up after that. Myles Garrett stepped up. Trevon Diggs stepped up. A lot of guys became, thrusted themselves in that conversation. But when this man came back with a bang, he should have been in my top 5 performers. I think he had 2 sacks. This man came back into the game. This man has 21 and a half sacks with 2 games left to play after missing 3 of them. Man is incredible. The video, I posted a video. OG is Drew Holiday, a top 10 point guard. The point guard position used to be thick as hell. I'm trying to think right now.
Ain't 10 point guards better than him. Paul.
Are we counting?
Trey. Paul, Trey.
Is Harden a point guard? Yeah.
He they primary ball handler.
Then what about Kyrie?
No, Irv is not a point guard.
So so he's the 2 then.
LaMelo Ball, no.
Better than Drew Holiday?
Drew Holiday?
I'm taking Melo over Drew Holiday.
Okay, LaMelo Ball. Curry. Okay.
Lonzo, nah. I take Drew over Lonzo.
Fox.
Close. I'm taking Drew over Fox.
Ja.
I'm taking that defense that Drew bring, man. I think Drew Holiday is the best perimeter defender in the league. I believe that, bro. I think he's a better defender than Kawhi. I think he's a better defender than Paul George. I think he's the best perimeter defender in the league. That may be a hot take to some, but watching this kid play, it's
not to me. It's not.
My God, talk about handcuffs. Drew Holiday off the strength, I would give him top 10 just off the strength. I remember he used to be 15 point guard strong, like in the league. That was all jockeying for position. Who was your MVP for the NBA and the NFL? NFL MVP probably gonna go to Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. If I had to put some money on it, I'll put my money on Aaron Rodgers. NBA, DeMar. Who's in line to get it?
I'm gonna shock you. I think the MVP going to Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, you think so? They ain't gave it to a running back in a minute. And if that man don't at least rush for 2 racks, he ain't sniffing.
Adrian Peterson, the last one to get it in 2012. I think it's going to Jonathan
2 racks. So
absolutely,
KT better rush for 2 racks. But the Lions win 6 games next year. They garbage. It's only one way from where they at now, and that's up.
How about Steph Curry? How about Steph Curry 9 points the other night? How about that?
Man, look.
Trash.
Yeah, garbage.
Trash.
It's garbage, but it is what it is. You know, it happens. I just wish it wasn't 9. I wish it was 10.
Or 12. Like
at least.
At least you could say you. Yeah, at least you could say, yo, I cooked them for 13. I could say that, right?
Like something, bro. Like I got 13 up off here. You know what I'm saying?
I can't say I cooked you for 9. Nah, that don't work, yo. That just doesn't work.
Somebody asked you Patrick Ewing or Dwight Howard.
I think Dwight Howard is better than Ewing. Ewing was I think Ewing was more. Yeah, I think Ewing was more in terms of offense. Ewing had a better mid-range game. But overall, when I think about Dwight Howard, in terms of the defensive force and the guy who we building it around, I think he was better than you.
I would take Pat just because Pat was more versatile, especially offensively. You know, I'm an offensive guy. You know, I value offense. Defense is extremely important, and Dwight Howard is light years ahead of Pat defensively, even though Pat was a solid defender. Pat could do so much offensively. His footwork, he had a little mid-range to him. Like his glass work, he can bank it off the glass with either hand. I just like Dwight Howard is one move. If he's not powering through you, he's screwed. Like I don't even know how they ran the offense. Well, I don't even think when Orlando went to the finals that they necessarily ran the offense through him. I think it was more so, you know, a lot of those guys was in double figures, and Rashard Lewis was averaging like 18. Turkoglu was giving you like 20. Rayford Alston was giving you like 17, 18. They had light-skinned buddy coming off the bench that was an all-star that year.
Don't forget about Jameer Nelson.
Light-skinned buddy, he was giving you 20. He was an all-star that year. So they had a lot of heat coming from a lot of places. Rashard Lewis, it's another one.
Absolutely.
So that squad was well-rounded. I don't think it was just Dwight Howard carrying. It was so one more. Paul Pierce or Carmelo Anthony? That's a damn good question. But I'm taking Paul Pierce.
I'm taking Anthony.
No doubt about that. About that. Anyway, this was a great show. Welcome back. I'm glad to be back for the new year, man. January 4th, 2022. We can finally say 2022. Turned over the new year. All the loyals on YouTube, like I say, don't forget to drop a like, leave a subscription if you love what you hear. All the loyals over here on Twitch, we appreciate y'all. W's in the chat for the stream. If you enjoyed yourself, Unc, take us home.
Take it light, but take it.
We out.